We have seen how doctor consulted the patient consulted the doctor, ordered investigations, and prescribed medicines and visits. We have seen all this in other previous videos. Now let's see what happens behind the scenes to make sure all those medicines and consumables are actually available in the hospitals. So inventory is this module where we generally track all this. I'll just give an overview. Coming to suppliers, everything starts with the supplier. Hospitals will procure the medicines, laboratory reagents, or surgical consumables and other medical supplies from different vendors. In the suppliers module, we maintain all approved supplier information, including contact details and status. So we have the in the suppliers we have this information like Alpha, Diagnosis India, Apollo Medical. Let's take this an example. I'll show the information. So here we will maintain all the supplies information and we'll collect information like in suppliers we'll collect information like supply name, supply code, email, status, city, address, then who is the contact person from that vendor and the phone number of that. Then you can update the supplier. Then you can update here. You can edit the supplier details if you have mistakenly enter some mobile number or person name. You can edit here, or else you can add new supplier from here. In case you have multiple suppliers, you don't want to add them manually each one. You can upload suppliers from here. Upload suppliers. Coming to items. Here we will maintain the item master, which contains all medicines, consumables, or any in other inventory items used across the hospital. Coming to purchase orders, when stock is running low, the hospital creates a purchase order and sends it to the supplier. The records which items are being ordered and the quantity and how much quantity is ordered and the expected delivery all will be recorded here. Then coming to what's uh, after receiving the stock from vendors or the suppliers, medicines and consumables can be allocated to different wards. See, generally, we'll purchase some medicines or any other inventory items from suppliers or the vendors. And when those supplies or that items reach our hospital, let's assume they are in our some warehouse and we want to distribute this stock to different wards. So that stock, whatever the stock we receive, and the medicines or the consumables will allocate to different wards or departments based on their requirements. So it's all about wards, and so wards will be generally same as suppliers, where we'll generally have the wards information. Coming to sales orders, when a ward or pharmacy or laboratory requires some stock or an internal issue or sales order is created, the requested items are issued from the central inventory. Here, the central inventory, let's consider our warehouse, our inventory warehouse in the hospitals. So from their hospital inventory warehouse, the internal departments or the any ward is requesting some items from the central inventory. So that requested items are issued from the central inventory and the stock levels are updated automatically in the warehouse. Coming to dispensary. Finally, the dispensary is where the doctor, whatever the doctor prescribed the medicines during the patient's visit, which we have seen in the visits, where medicines or whatever it may be, the pharmacy, the medicines, whatever prescribed there, once they generate prescription over there, it will come to the dispensary, inventory dispensary. So the inventory in this inventory and this dispensary, this will act like a pharmacy where the pharmacy will dispense those medicines to the patient. The inventory is reduced automatically, ensuring accurate stock tracking. I'll show you an example. Let's consider this Sri Krishna Medical Supplies. And in items, we have these. We have, for example, in my inventory warehouse, I have these four items: metformin, amoxicillin, derma some barrier cream. So for now, this metformin stock level is in stock. So in items, we also have three stock level statuses. Once, for example, for this metformin, I have given minimum quantity as 20. No, no, let's assume 200. Have given some minimum quantity. Sorry, here we have it. Here we have minimum quantity as 100. So whatever the medicines we purchase, if whatever the stock level it's below 100, then we'll show the status as low stock. In case if the quantity or the current quantity is generally higher than the minimum quantity, then we'll show the stock level as in stock. So compare here. So we have minimum quantity as 100 for metformin is 200. So we are showing it as in stock. And one more example. So here Dermashield barrier cream. Here our minimum quantity is 20, but our current quantity is 5. So we are showing it as low stock. So whatever the statuses we are showing here, it helps the pharmacy or whoever handling this inventory. It will show them that this item or this medicine, particular medicine, it's not in stock, it's in low stock. It allows them to stock that item. Let me this. So when we add an item to our inventory, we'll generally collect information like supplier. For example, I'm purchasing this metformin from which vendor. I have so many vendors. From which vendor or from which supplier I'm purchasing this item. So Sri Krishna Medical Suppliers is the supplier from where I'm purchasing this metformin 500 mg. So what is the type? Non-standard code, supplier item code, supplier code. The supplier code is some unique value for each and every supplier. And unit price, how much, at what cost we brought that metformin, and the unit type, then pack size, what is the storage condition, strength. So we'll collect such information. And coming to purchase orders, now we have some suppliers or vendors information and we have some items. So suppliers some Sri Krishna Medical Supplies Private Limited and items is some metformin. So I want to purchase metformin from Sri Krishna Medical Private Limited. So I'll purchase this. I'll go to add purchase order. I'll select whatever the supplier from whom I want to purchase that medicine. And once you select the supplier, you can come to add purchase items. Search item, for example, let me search metformin. So we'll get all the information here. So I'm searching for metformin. My current quantity is 200 and unit price is 30. So for this vendor is charging some 30 rupees. So how much you want to order? Let's think. Say, for example, I'm ordering some 200 quantity. Let's assume I'm ordering some 200 order quantity, add items. So since each one costs some 30 rupees, I'm ordering some 200 into 30, it will be some 6,000 amount. I can save it as draft if you are not confident you can save as draft. If you want to confirm, you can go to confirm. After confirm, you can click on receive. So when we click on receive, it means the supplier we got the item. For example, we got that metformin item from supplier. So here we will give some information like in which batch we got what quantity and what kind of expiry date. See, I got some two batches, BM69 and BM70, and have ordered to 200. So I got with some July expiry date, I got some 100, and with some August or September 5 as expiry date, I got some 100. I can add batches like this here. How you can add how many batches you got. You can click on add batch and you can add batches. After entering all this information, like you need to just enter the batch number and what are the expiry dates of each batch and the received quantity in that batch. You need to add to inventory. So once we click on the add to inventory, whatever the medicines we purchased from the suppliers, they'll all those items or all those medicines will be updated in our items master. Here, see, before we have seen the current quantity as 200. Since I ordered 200 more, now the current quantity is 400. So items level will be updated here. So that's how purchase orders works. And you can view the purchase orders also, or else you can have print the purchase order if you want to maintain. Coming to watch, here I'll just enter all the watch information. For example, I have some hospital. Let's take Apollo Hospital. In Apollo Hospital, I have some wards like pharmacy ward and some maternity ward and some NICU ward and some medical ward. So these are the wards I have in my hospital and the information of those hospitals. I will collect some ward name, email, status, and type. Why type in the sense, for example, maternity wards. There can be two maternity wards. I can name them as some maternity ward 1, and the type can be maternity. And maternity ward 2 is also a type of maternity ward. So we'll select country, India, and which state, and then which city. Let's assume. I'm updating the word here, or else we can add new word here. Coming to sales orders. Sales orders is generally like an intent request, like I said before. Whatever the medicines or items which I have in my inventory warehouse, I can distribute them to the wards. Like I can let's assume this metformin medicine, and I'm distributing this medicine to some 100 quantity to some maternity ward and some 50 quantity to some pharmacy ward and some other 50 quantity to any other ward like NSU. That's how sales orders. I'll show you a transaction. See, for example, I want to distribute to this pharmacy ward. Searching for metformin. So I'm considering the word pharmacy and I want to distribute the metformin medicine from my inventory warehouse. So metformin is the medicine and the available stock in my inventory warehouse of this medicine is 400 and I want to distribute some 100 to pharmacy. Add items. Once added the item, I can confirm or save as draft. After that, I can click on allocate. So in this allocate batches, I can allocate. So with I have this batch 1, which is going to expire on some 8 like in August 8th. So you can dispense from any batch. Generally, we need to allocate from the near to expiry batches. or here I'm dispatching 100, sorry, 10 here, and 90 from batch 2. They can add items. Once the batches are allocated, then I can click on confirm dispatching. Once we click on the confirm dispatching, these these items are transferred to that ward and not all quantity, the amount of quantity we ordered in the sales order. You can see here, I have dispatched some 100 quantity to sales order, that is to pharmacy ward. So in my inventory warehouse, I have only 300. Before that, we had 400. So since I dispatched some 100 quantity to pharmacy ward, now in my inventory warehouse, I have 300 quantity. So that's how sales orders works. You can click on view and then you can see. Coming to dispensary, like I have shown you in the visits. Let me show you this visit where the doctor can prescribe any medication. So whatever the medications they prescribe, they can click on this and they can generate prescription. I've already done that. So once we click on generate prescription, they'll reflect in the inventory dispensary. Coming to this patient, we have added some medicine called metformin. So I can click on dispense. Wait, this. So let's assume this doctor has prescribed some 20 quantity of 20 tablets of metformin for this patient RM. So I'll click on next and update visit. Then medications, generate prescription. I can print the prescription also. Coming to inventory warehouse. So once we generate prescription over there, the patient will be reflected here. So this is the patient and the doctor prescribed some 20 prescribed quantity. So when the medicine is prescribed, we'll have the status as prescribed and quantity, whatever the prescribed quantity doctor prescribed. When we click on dispense, we'll need to select the word from where we are collecting those medicine. From collecting from pharmacy, I'll select pharmacy. Then dispatch quantity. Since I have ordered 20, in batch 1, I have only 10 available stock, so 10 is dispatched. And another batch 1, I have 10. So I can click on confirm dispense. So when we click on confirm dispense, our status will change to from prescribed to, it will change to dispense. And whatever the dispensed quantity we have dispensed, it will update here. Let's assume a case that the doctor has prescribed 20 here, but the patient want only 10 to dispense. They can also dispense only 10, and based on that dispensed quantity, we can generate bill. So here the doctor prescribed 20 and I have also dispensed 20. I can click on generate bill. Once the bill is generated for whatever the dispensed quantity here, can go to billings and we can pay the bill. So this is how generally inventory works. Thank you.